Plugged in. Y'all should be here. My man got them on the stage. Yeah. You made Ethan, right? Yeah.
Is this it?
29057.
Well, we already were alluded already.
Your place?
Yeah, it's a little smaller than usual, but
Yeah, right. It works.
It's cold outside. Damn. It's cold outside. You know,
Just real quick, Friday we're starting at 9 o'clock with Tino, and then the intro video that Yuli made. And it is. It goes from 9 to 9:30, and then there's a 5-minute break between each speaker. All access pass gets you inside the green room, into all the bar rooms, into the lunch rooms, into the patios, pretty much anywhere you need. CEO as well, VIP as well, right? If for some reason we sell more than 97, I'll handle it. And finally.
We don't want any.
Hey, I do that.
Oh, that's the champagne.
Yeah, those are the sugar. Yeah.
For Chris's biggest event so far.
And we got the balcony, check it out, with a cash bar. Oh man, this is it's gonna be amazing. Oh no, we're gonna fucking crush it up. 3, 1, 2, 3. Crush celebrities in the house.
That's you, bro?
Shit.
Yeah. Hey.
Talking about the one standing on the table.
I know, right?
We got some celebrities.
We're gonna get started. We're a little bit late, but it's fashionably late, right?
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen is we're all gonna go around the room because there's a lot of different people from a lot of different industries, right? There's some people I met that are in crypto. There's some people that are in real estate. There's some people that are just doing everything and anything under the sun. So it's all a good time here. It's great networking, and we're gonna learn a lot from each other. But we need to introduce ourselves so that we kind of know a little bit of quick background of what each other does and how we can all add value to each other.
Hi, my name is Mario. I'm an alcoholic.
No, man. We can learn from you.
No, man, I'm into leadership, man. I have a big financial service business, over 3,000 licensed agents, 62 offices all around the United States. And I love leadership, man. I love building up people. So, yeah, man, I can't wait to be sharing with you guys.
I'll brag for him. Mario's a fucking beast, straight up. And he's my financial advisor, right? He just told me right now, he's like, bro, you don't even know, but your account's up 200 G's. I was like, cool. You know? So that's how much I trust Mario. I give him money and don't even look at it, right? He's the #1 life insurance guy in the country. So he's a badass. And anybody that has 3,000 or 4,000 agents under him knows how to lead a team of people, right? That's just super amazing. So he's going to bring a lot of value. So thank you for being here,
Thank you.
Mario.
Absolutely, man.
Where's that guy? Don't buy penthouses, buy houses.
Who's older than 45 years old in this room? Yeah, I really feel old. So you gotta know I'm 51 years old. I've been doing this now for 30 years. I'm in real estate. I started real estate when I was 21 years old. And I started as a real estate agent. Most of my time now, I was telling Ryan, I just built apartment buildings, I built townhouses. I buy a lot of single family property. I put a lot of dollars on them in Seattle. All my business all in Seattle. I just focus on buying property and keeping them. I look for deals to keep. When I make my list of homes to buy, I have a specific thing I look for, and I just go after those. And when the number don't make sense, that's when I wholesale them, or that's when I flip them to somebody else. But I focus on 100%. Everything I look for is something I'm always gonna buy to keep.
I love it.
And that's what my single mind focus is.
Who's flipping houses in here? Wholesaling, right? So yeah, ton of value from this guy, right? Because when first time I met you, Thach, I remember you told me you were saying most people are flip, and then years go by, and the one regret they always say is, I wish I would have kept more properties.
Yeah.
When you told me that, it hit me. I was like, damn, I need to keep more.
I was telling Blake, right? I was telling Blake, I said, if you ask any flipper, what's the thing they regret the most? I should have never flipped that house, because that thing I sold for X amount of money. You and I talked about that, right? When you came to Seattle, right? And they're like, man, I should never flip that. Man, that thing is worth like, $10 million today, that property. Yeah. Right? Everybody say that, right? But the reason why they get caught up in this whole flex game, this hype game. Oh man, how many homes did you flip last year? I did 50. Oh shit, I need to up my game. I gotta get 60 this month. Right? How many did you? I did 100. Oh shit, I gotta do 100. And the next thing they do, they're all chasing and trying to basically outbeat each other on how many can wholesale the most a year. But then the thing they forget, the biggest grand prize is the holding game. Right. I did a video saying there's three type of people. There's poor people, there's rich people, and there's wealthy people. Poor people are all like, where my money at? I need my money. Give my money before somebody else get my money, right? Rich people, they make money and they're flexing all the time. I got the Rose, I got the Rollie, I got this, I got that, but they don't own no asset. And then I got the wealthy people who are the guys who are thinking ideas and creativity, how to create generational wealth, how to create that passive income for the next generation, how to make a big impact in the world to make the world better when they leave.
That's awesome.
Right? So I said in the video to all you guys, same thing. We all start here. But the goal is we want to get here, everybody. That's how we make a big ass impact.
And guys, speaking of the impacting people, so if you don't know, we're raising money for Thach's charity at the event. He's the speaker on Saturday, and he has an amazing charity. They're building some soccer fields for poor kids that have no soccer fields, apparently, right? And so me and my guys are going to donate a bunch of money, but we're also going to have a really cool raffle where all the speakers chip in something, whether it's like a coaching call or a day at the office, things like that. And it's just 100% going to charity. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so, I've been blessed, meet a lot of people in Seattle. I partner with a lot of different people. A lot of people don't know this. I try to shoot more video of it sometimes, but sometimes I try to be a little discreet about it. But I build a lot of houses in Seattle, and I rent them to less fortunate people. Wow. I've been doing it for a long time. My dad, when he came over here before he passed away, he was a social worker. And he helped a lot of people get on welfare and get into housing. And when he died from cancer, and you guys see me talk about more, when he died from cancer, I realized my vision, to continue the legacy from my dad is to help, less fortunate people. And so today, that's my thing now, is to go make money, but then also make a difference. So I built houses in Seattle, I rent them to low-income family. And then recently the Seattle Sounder came to me and it's like, hey man, we got this campaign called 26 by 2026. We're working on getting the FIFA to do the World Cup in Seattle, one of the cities to host the World Cup. And one of the things the Seattle Sounder is doing that was impressive to the FIFA was they picked 26 fields around Seattle in low-income neighborhood, and they go and they build them from scratch with turf and everything. So they asked me would I like to be part of that. I said yeah. So I picked this one field, which I grew up at. It's called New Holly, and it's the biggest field out of all 26 fields. It takes $800,000 to rebuild this thing. And they said we'll donate 1-to-1 everything you raise. And I said how about I raise $400,000? They're like, you by yourself? They're like, shit, we ain't had nobody step up to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I said I do it. You know what I mean? And I said when do we need the money by? I said by the end of December. And I started this like 70 days ago.
So where you at today? How much you raised today?
325,000. Me, like, yo man, come out and speak. And I was like, would you consider doing a charitable arm at your event? I did my event in Seattle and I raised 170,000, right? He was like, what do you want to do? Man, we can get some of the speaker, like Ryan, a bunch of the cats, just throw in like a day in the life or a program or whatever, and we raffle it off. Then when that thing get done, then we invite everybody to come and donate. We're gonna have a big event there. I mean, the mayor, everybody, Russell Wilson there, Macklemore, they all sprung. They're like, man, this cat, that's just crazy. But for me, man, that's what really moved me. I love making money, which is good because when you're dead, you can't take the money with you anyway. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me now, I like to go give back, man, to less fortunate people. And this is the way how I do it right now. Just partner up with great people and just do great shit like this.
That's how I got him over here, because people were telling me, they're like, Thach doesn't speak at nobody's events.
I don't really speak at much.
And I was like, he's going to speak at mine. I spoke it into existence. I was like, I'm going to get him. Then I found out about his charity and we talked, and I was like, let's run it. And then he was like, all right, for the charity, he's like, I'm there.
It's a great feeling, man. I tell you guys, man. I mean, as much money I make and as much passive income and as much as I give back to my kids and everything, but I tell you, man, it's a whole nother level. When you go out there and you can make a difference to the city. Like, it was cool on Monday night with the last game of the Sounder, and they asked me to come out to center field and donate the check to them.
Oh, that's
right? And FIFA was there, right? And FIFA was like, that's cool.
That's tight.
There's 27 teams in the MLS, and every team select one citizen in their town who they feel get the community service award. And Sounder picked me, right, to give that award in November for the playoffs. So in the playoff, they're gonna actually announce all 27 citizens all across America representing their city, and so they gave me that award the other day, so that was pretty cool too. But that's the kind of shit, you know what I mean? Go make your money, man. Go make your money, and let's all move towards wealth, because that's really where significant state live at, you know what I mean? So anyway, man, thank you. Appreciate y'all, man.
Another power player up here.
Yeah. So I lost my voice. I'm gonna keep it short. I gotta be able to speak on stage tomorrow. But yeah, you guys are in my city, man. This is where I was born and raised. It's where I live today. And I love seeing events out here, and I love seeing the city back. Go lose some money wherever you're at. Help us out. But no, man, I'm pretty much just like all these guys. I started out in the business, doing one thing that made me a lot of money, and for me, that was flipping houses. I'll disagree with Thach in that I don't regret flipping any house I'd flip because I had to. It was like I didn't have a choice. Right. If I wanted to keep it, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But now, like you said, it's making that switch to, hey, we got to keep these houses now, right? I don't have to flip to make my money anymore because we have other businesses. Part of this event is what are these other things you can do outside of real estate? To me, the goal, I actually just had a Zoom call with Grant Cardone 2 days ago. I was interviewing him. He was talking about his education business, about how he this year is going to make about $150 million in education alone. He's going to net probably $50 million net on just one arm of his business. And he's like, yeah, I'll have 50 million. I gotta go put it somewhere because, for one, what's it gonna do? And two, I gotta go get tax write-offs. Right. So he's gonna go buy buildings, and that's his whole deal, man. I mean, he's a guy who's started out doing sales, doing education, and parlayed that into real estate. But he also used social media, like we're all talking about. So just seeing the path that a lot of these guys have shown, guys like Thach or Grant, and just seeing like, man, their end game is make money doing something, put that money in real estate, and then just let the rest chill.
That's right.
That's it. There's no other thing that gives you tax-free money like real estate. Crypto's great, e-com's great. They're great ways to make money.
That's right.
But there's only one way to get rid of your taxes, and it's real estate. So all you guys in here, man, I would just say my whole philosophy is figure out how you can make a lot of active income and then figure out how to buy real estate with it.
Right.
That's the game. And so for me, everything I do at this point is whether I'm selling coaching, whether I'm selling e-com, or whether it's my passive income. Like I have a CPA firm with hundreds of clients. We have a brokerage with 150 realtors. We have e-com, we have education. All of those things are just for me to go buy buildings and other stuff. Because in the end, I just love doing deals. You'll never get over the thrill of doing deals.
That's for sure.
We all love it.
That's for sure.
Like I look at a new house over here, I'm like, dang. In fact, I'm building one of the best houses in Las Vegas. Very unique property. We'll probably be like all into it for 6-7 million. It's gonna be worth over 20 million. It's going to take years to develop. In the meantime, just happened to find a deal, not too far from here, 1.8 million, it's worth 3 million, needs a few $100,000 in renovation. I'm like, dude, I get excited for any deal. I'm going to go live in that until the time being.
That's what I was texting you about, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to go live. I'm like, I didn't plan to move, but that's what we do as entrepreneurs. You see opportunity and you make a move.
Yep.
And so you guys have got to be willing to adapt to whatever it is, and I just tell people, you're not just a flipper or a real estate investor. If you see an opportunity and you can execute on it, right? You got to be able to execute on it. You can't just be like, oh, I want to get into crypto. but you're an idiot. You don't know anything, right? Like, we can all want to get into crypto, but unless you actually know it, or you have somebody that knows it, that you really trust, you're going to get screwed. Trust me, the whales are going to dump on you, okay?
For sure.
But whether you become the expert or you hire the expert, you partner with the expert, just do whatever you got to do to capitalize on that opportunity, because there's so many today that are making people so wealthy compared to just 5-10 years ago. Whether it's crypto or e-com or NFTs or like the list goes on. And it's just like every time I look at it, I used to think flipping houses was the best thing ever. I was making 7 figures a year flipping houses and I thought I'd made it. And then it's like, dang, I got to take out, $10 million in debt to go flip all these houses at a time. Right now we got 20 million in debt just in hard money loans flipping houses. And I'm okay with it, but all these other businesses, you don't need to do that. It's like,
Right.
It's so risk-free compared to flipping and all these other things. So my point is, it doesn't mean you stop doing real estate or anything, by no means. In fact, finding deals is always going to be the best thing you can do because you're gonna need to buy those deals with the money you make and whatever it is. So.
But I want to add on to what Ryan said. In order for you to be ready to pull the trigger, you got to be responsible and think, what do I need to do to be ready if a deal came to me tomorrow to buy and hold? See what I'm saying? Nobody think like that. Because we're on this treadmill, we're running this shit. Man, I got to get that 20 wholesale deal this month because the cat I talked to, he did 10. I got to beat his ass. Right? That's just flipping all day. If you knew there was a deal coming 12 months from now, and you know you wasn't ready to actually take it down and hold it, what do you need to do to get ready to actually take it down and hold it? Most cats I know that's young, without wholesaling and flipping, they ain't got no credit. They got jacked up credit. The W-2 look like a war zone, you know what I mean? You couldn't pull on a deal when a deal come right? Like, I need to be able to pull it, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause buying it and flipping it is a whole other thing.
Well, and when you start thinking about it too, right? This deal for 1.8 million, right? We're going to be all into it, say 2.2, it's worth 3 million today, right? I think we all think the market's going to keep going up. Well, when you look at it from one option, you go get hard money, you go flip it, and that deal might be able to make, I don't know, 400,000, just call it, right? By living in it and going to do the Burr method on it, they'll give me 85% loan to value because I'm living in it. So what's 85% of 3 million? 2.6. I'm all in for 2.2. So what are they going to do? They're going to give me 400 grand
Tax-free.
tax-free, and I get to keep it, and I get to get all the write-offs and the depreciation. What's better, getting 400,000 taxed or having the house 400,000 non-taxed plus other write-offs?
And we didn't talk about the appreciation by the time he sell it, do a 1031 from this house into his brand new home.
Yeah.
Right? That's a whole other thing. But here's the thing, you gotta get yourself together. I was telling you, right? You gotta get your credit right, you gotta get your W-2 right, you gotta get the debt to income right, so that you guys can pull the trigger on deal when it comes so you can actually keep it. Because this is what everybody say, I do it when I get enough money. There ain't never enough money.
Well,
Hustler always like, man, I need to
you're
make 2
always
million.
out of cash. You're always raising money because you're investing in other things. But I'll say too, like even in that deal, I got to go qualify for a loan that's $2.5 million.
That's right.
My credit, my tax returns, they got to be on point to qualify for that, right? Same thing, we just bought a 334 unit. I had to go and personally guarantee a $20 million loan. In order to do those things, they're really picking you apart on what you're doing. And so it wasn't that nobody had ever seen that deal before, it's just a lot of people just simply don't qualify for it. And then when you start thinking about the levels to this, like, okay, that's probably a higher level than most people. But then there's like way higher levels where these hedge funds and the banks are getting access to these $100 million portfolios, $1 billion portfolios, and they're getting them for pennies on the dollar, right? Like they go get a portfolio that's worth 150 million and they're getting it for 75. And the reason they can do that is because they're the only one that can buy it. The money honestly gets easier as you get higher. To make 20,000 7 years ago, my first flip was so difficult. I was with Blake today, like we were golfing and I was just showing him like my emails. I had made 20,000 within like before 9 a.m.
That's crazy.
I didn't, we were golfing, I'm like, and by the way guys, so
Let me hold some.
yeah, for Thach's charity, I'm gonna be giving away 2 tickets to golf with me. So we spend the whole day golfing just out here in Vegas at a private country club. It's gonna be a fun time.
It's like a golf mentorship.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm gonna go around the room real quick and see who's who and introduce everybody too. And then as you guys are, Tino will be calling you guys out, talk about your business, what you're doing, and then you have us here to pick our brains essentially, right? So if there's something you're struggling with or something you want advice on, now's the time to speak up.
My name is Juan. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. We are a real estate office with about 40 plus agents right now. We flip houses. We hold through Airbnb.
Hey everyone, I'm Kevin. Founded Kinetic Real Estate 2 years ago. So, but he said we have a shop of 45 team members right now. It's a startup. My business is based on vertical integration. So I co-founded a moving company with 30 full-time employees and a home staging company as well. We flipped homes soft last year, and I'm excited to learn. I don't know what's out or not.
Do you guys have any bottlenecks or any chokes on your business that you're like trying to figure out? If you don't, it's okay. I'm just wondering because we like to share it publicly, right?
No, actually, I mean it's money. Like
he's like, no, I got the shit figured
no.
out.
Hey man, I wouldn't be here if I figured it out.
I would say that the biggest thing is that we're growing. I think the agency was 8 agents last year, and we're at 40 plus agents right now. So we're growing at a rapid rate. So how to just scale it in a healthy way where the company can empowering other people to carry different parts
That's
of the
this
business.
guy's specialty right here.
Yeah.
Mario, tell these guys, and I've seen it with my own eyes, tell them about just the accountability type stuff you do with your team and how much contact you have with them, and because I've never seen nobody do it like you.
Yeah, absolutely. So exactly what you're talking about, and this goes for everybody. This is something huge. Ask yourself this question. If you got, for example, how many clients do you get on average a month right now?
We do about average like 30 to 35 escrows.
So, okay, great.
Yeah.
So if you got 1,000 of them, let's be honest here. If you got 1,000 this month, would that get you excited or would that stress you the hell out? Let's be honest.
Both.
But guess what? Because there's stress in it, subconsciously, you'll figure out a way to mess it up. You'll never get to 1,000 escrows a month because you're not prepared for it. So what you need to do is you need to put the vision out there and have the infrastructure so you're prepared for greatness to happen. So a lot of people, believe it or not, you stay in a bubble because your team will fall and raise based on the lid you put on them. But if you put big goals, every team needs a visionary and an integrator.
Yeah.
Every team. So I don't know who's the visionary or who's the integrator here.
Visionary integrator, me.
Perfect. Every great team is that way, by the way. So good thing you guys identify your roles.
Yeah.
But man, have a system in place, brother, that when that happens, you're ready for that success and put that out there for your team. And believe it or not, your team will find you opportunities like, dude, this person's looking to partner up with us that can bring us 50 deals, this 100, because now they're aware. Like if I ask you guys the question, and I know it's kind of silly, but how many blue cars did you see on the drive over here?
Like nobody noticed.
Blue cars, how many did you see? The answer is none. Because you're not intentional, but if I give you $1,000 for every blue car you see on the drive back to your hotel, how many would you see?
Every fucking
one. Everyone. So what am I telling you? Opportunities are there. We're just not looking for them, and neither are your people because your vision's not there. So you as a company, you got to set the vision. Here's the goal. This is what we're gonna do. And now your guys are like hawks. And dude, there's a difference between. And sorry if I'm hogging a time over here, but look, there's a difference. Can I borrow this?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Like if this. There's a difference between pushing your team. See, if I push this, guess what happens? It doesn't, it's better with a chain. But if I push it, it goes like, it doesn't go where I want. But if I pull it, it goes exactly where I want. Wherever I want, it goes in my direction. And it works better with a chain than example. Meaning, you get the most out of your people, man, when you appreciate them, when you pull greatness out of them, when they want to do it. You get the least out of your people when they have to, like, fuck, it's a job. Right. This is something I have to do. So if you can create that type of environment, dude, there's people that are literally making zero money, but they wouldn't leave me because I made them feel more appreciated, more loved around me than even at their own home. And say, how can I leave that guy that believes in me? My own wife don't believe in me. My parents don't believe in me. That freaking guy believes in me. I'll never quit on that guy. And now they're millionaires with me. You follow me? So leadership is everything.
Tell them what's more addicting than sex.
Yes, actually, I was getting to good job, bro. The only thing more addicting, I'm serious. This is huge.
Listen careful.
The one thing that is more addicting, believe it or not, than drugs and sex and even money is praise and recognition, bro.
People crave it.
I promise you, you can buy sex anywhere. I'm being honest with you. You can buy it. You can. We're in Vegas. He'll tell you yes, right? Like, right? You can buy drugs. But guess what? You can't buy that praise and recognition, bro. If you master that, your people will die for you. They'll go to war for you.
How do you master that?
But I'm telling you, see, a good leader knows. This is huge. You can buy that with some coaching, just technology. So look, I think I didn't say John Maxwell. He works with Grant Cardone all the time. I'm one of his advisors. He seeked me out and say, hey, whenever he's in town, he calls me out, and I'm one of John Maxwell's advisors on leadership. Not because I called him, it's because he seeked me out because of what I'm doing in my industry. So a good leader, if you guys want to, dude, this is something really good. A good leader knows their own strengths and weaknesses, their own. A great leader knows their people's strengths and weaknesses. So, bro, if you figure out that part, you can move your team like you wouldn't believe. And it's something as simple as this. You're not going to believe it. They send me to offices that are literally going to close down. And I teach this simple philosophy that I grow them by 100, 200% their first month. By doing this one thing. You ask this person, for example, they went to the store that sold shoes and clothes and everything, and the manager went in there and said, hey, all right, let me go in here. Are you a box person or are you a people person? And let's say you said I'm a box person. Right. But guess what? You were in the front dealing with people and you hate that shit. You love boxes. You love doing that. You don't like the people part. So guess what? They moved you to the back. You follow me? It's not what I think is your straight, it's what you tell me what you like to do. I ask you, and you're in the back, moving boxes. What do you like, bro? Boxes? Are you a box type of person? Or be like, dude, I love people. I fucking hate. I don't like every day I'm just freaking dealing with boxes and systems. Like, this is not me. I can't wait to leave. I'll actually take less pay to do something that I like. Right. Yes or no? Yeah. So guess what? I move you to the front of the store. And just by placing people in the right places, dude, you'll be unstoppable. It's that, just asking those simple questions. Dude, it's unbelievable. And yes, it's gonna take time, but bro, game over. Any of you guys watch basketball? Like, imagine saying, Shaq, you suck at free throws and at 3-point. That's all we want you to do because we want you to work on your weaknesses. Dude, they would never win a championship. You guys follow me?
Yeah.
Dude, like, no, dude, you're badass in the paint. That's where you stay.
Right.
You follow me? But you as a coach got to identify that, and they even tell you, and you place them there, dude, and you're unstoppable.
Dude, that's so dope, Mario.
Oh, yeah. I'm a student, dude. Like, I'm learning from these men. I'm like, damn, there's so much to learn. There's always levels to this. Yeah. And dude, they're here and they're humble. They can be like, I don't need to learn nothing, dude. I see him paying attention. They're paying. I'm like, dude, that's why they're where they're at. They're students, man. The greats never stop learning.
Yeah, I love that you said that. Cause I was just telling somebody yesterday. I was like, it's my fucking event, and you're gonna see me in the front row with a notepad watching, because I'm a student of the game all the time. You know, it's just when you stop learning, you start going backwards. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, who's next?
All right, my name's Brandon. I'm from Rancho Cucamonga, California. I've done probably over 40 deals this year.
What kind of deals?
Wholesale, mostly. I'm here with Jason.
Yeah, Jake.
Just here to learn more and learn when to hold deals, and just want to learn from everyone here. All the speakers, super excited.
That's awesome.
We got a 165K deal, 130K deal, so we're definitely killing it in the Southern California area. He's great at what he does, but I can't talk to sellers. He does that. I dispo him, get them all closed and everything, you know?
Nice.
But now, my problem, I wanted to ask you guys a question when both of you guys were talking, because both of you guys and Chris are the three goats to me, right? But I have a property in Palm Springs. I'm getting it for $1 million, actually 900, and I can wholesale it for 1.2, make 300K, but in my opinion, it's worth $2 million. I don't have the capacity to go buy a house for $1 million and flip it for $2 million. Not only that, we have 3 houses in Anaheim, all 1 mile away from Disneyland, all great prices, 100K below, and I want to buy these, Airbnb them, but you know, we do $2 million in wholesales, all that's cool, but when it comes to like holding them, we're not grasping the holding part and actually, you know, holding on to all these deals. We do $2 million in wholesale fees. How do I get to either A, 10 million, or the question is, how do I start keeping, you know, a Palm Springs property right now, Anaheim property right now that I'm getting for?
Are you having trouble getting the loans, or what is it? More specific. Like, what's stopping you from doing it?
I guess private money or hard money or.
Everybody want to own rental, but we got to get clear on what is it that you really want to own, right? When I coach someone, I always ask them, by what age do you want to have the option to work or not work? When someone taught me that, I was like, whoa, when I was younger, I was just hustling, just selling a lot of houses, just because I wanted to be #1 as a realtor nationwide. And what my mentor asked me, you can be rich, keep selling real estate, you only can be wealthy when you actually own real estate. So then he asked me the question, at what age do you want to have the option to work or not work. Now, I still work because I have the option. I'll choose to work. I was 27 when he asked me that question, and I said, I like to have the option to work or not work when I was 45. He said, cool. Then he said to me, how much passive income do you want to have to live comfortably every month if you were debt-free? Now, I'm not talking about living in a penthouse suite every weekend in Las Vegas, but how much do you need to live comfortably if it was debt-free? And I said to myself, I was 45 years old, I had 25 grand a month coming in, and then I'm still be working, and my house is free and clear, everything's free and clear. I'd be living good. That'd be like the first benchmark, and if I want to go more, I can go more, right? Then he said, great, well, what's the average rent? And average rent was like $1,500 back in the day. He says, you need about 12, 13 houses bought and paid off by the time you reach 45. So then my goal was to actually buy 12, 13 home and pay them off. So then I started thinking, well, what type of home really cash flow better? Maybe a $2 million house in Palm Springs, it might not cash flow as well. You know what I mean? It might be good for Airbnb. For me, my philosophy of Airbnb is this. I think Airbnb is a great way to actually make good money, but it should be the bonus. Meaning, you should be able to buy, in my opinion, my standard, this is my mindset. I want to buy a deal where it makes sense and make good money and a cash flow at long-term rent. Right. Then if I want to add Airbnb on top of that, it's the frosting on the cake. Yeah. What I see a lot of people doing these days, because they're young, because they use this as a vehicle to make money, which is cool because they're young. They buy property more than what they should pay for because they can rent it for $10,000 a night. You know what I mean? I can pay $2 billion for this house, which is cool. But I would say the first thing is this: not every property is good for rental. I live in Mercer Island. Mercer Island is like Newport Beach. It's like a scraper. Starts at like $1.5 million, right? It don't make no sense to buy a rental.
Let them know.
Right? It don't make no sense.
Shaq's
right?
$1.5 million where I live.
To buy a house in Mercer Island, to make it look decent, to have a decent house for rent, it's gonna cost you $2 million. And the rent for a house like that is $5,000. That means you gotta put $1 million down to have $1 million. You see what I mean? So I got $1 million in, and I'm just breaking even. That ain't a good rental. Now, for the Asians from China, they buying this shit in cash. $2 million house sitting vacant. Because they just need something to place their money. So I think for everyday people, to me, you gotta be able to buy a property where it cash flow without using Airbnb. And if you can, at Airbnb, kill it on that. So for me, Palm Springs, majority of the home I see in Palm Springs now when you buy it, you gotta Airbnb it to make sense. But I'll tell you where the money is made right now in Southern Cal. Anaheim, Fullerton, Long Beach, Pico. And what you do is you buy them, bro, as a fixer.
We literally get 10 to 12 deals a month in all those areas that you just said.
Man, I tell you.
He ain't keeping none of them.
Listen, bro. Here's how I look at it. I was telling Blake this. My standard for a burr, one, it has to be all in. Purchase price and rehab has to be in, all in, 70% of ARV.
Yeah, we get everything.
Okay? That means I got 30% equity. Why? Because when I get a refi it, the bank give me 70, 75, I don't have to leave no money in it. Right? But I got 30% equity in it. Two, it has to be in the area where I get good rent and good appreciation. To me, good appreciation is 7% a year, which is double every 10 years. If that's the formula, every time you find one of those and you got the income, you got to take it down. Now, in those areas I just mentioned to you, how you get the ARV to spike is you got to buy old junk ass house and you put ADUs and junior ADUs on them so you get the ARV to spike. Now you got your 30% and it cash flow like crazy. Airbnb the back house you wanted to, right? Do that and just own a ton of those, man. One property can bring you in probably 5, 6, 8 grand a house. All you need is 10 of those. You get 80 grand a month for life. All you need is 10 of those. You don't even need 1,000 units. You can do it by yourself with literally 100 grand. And the one that don't meet the 30%, don't meet the criteria of the bird, flip them. Yep. That's the standard, bro. Yep. Okay?
Hey, so to add to that, I think, I'm still on both sides of this equation, right? Like I'm still wholesaling too, but I also own a lot of properties also. And one thing I went through was, in the beginning, every deal I got, it was flip, and then which ones do I want to keep? I had to make that mental shift. And I got it from you where it's like, hey, now every property that comes in, I underwrite it from the perspective of, does it make sense to keep?
That's right.
If it doesn't, then it's going to flip. Right. And I'm very picky on what I keep, right? So I still end up flipping quite a bit of houses. Right. But I think that's what you should do. Just my 2 cents is that you already have flipping down. You're flipping, you're making money, right? Now it's time to start keeping properties. It's not hard to raise money. It's not hard to borrow money or get hard money or whatever you got to do if you have a good deal. It starts with the deal, right? Trust me, if you have a good enough deal, someone's going to give you the money. Am I right? Right?
See, when you're young and you broke, it's the ladder go this way. Wholesale, flip, one day I own rental. And I agree with Ryan. When you're young, you got no money, you got no credit. You got to flip every damn thing. right? But when you got money and credit, you're a dumb motherfucker flipping it. Because you ain't working smart anymore. You're trading time for money for the rest of your life. But now, how I look at it, you gotta start from the top, work your way down. If you got money and credit, it should be like, does this fit a bird? If it don't, the next best thing is a flip. If it don't fit a flip, is it a wholesale? That's the mentality of it.
The question I had for you was, have you actually even flipped a property?
Yeah, we put one in Montana.
But one.
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
And
So-
we did all of that, and we made more money, I feel, in my opinion, wholesaling.
No, so my point is that, you know, I think the reason is, for me, I always teach people how to flip because if you can flip, you could do anything, right? The problem is you're a good marketer, but you don't have the skill set to raise money or renovate. And that's why you're not keeping them, because it's like, damn, where do I get the money? You asked that earlier. How do I fix this thing up? Could you manage 10 projects right now?
No, I couldn't. I think I did one flip project, and the investor was gonna give me $55K, and after I did the whole flip, I made $60K, and it was a terrible experience. Wasted 3 months, and it was just kind of like,
Yeah,
oh,
so that's the point. Is like
yeah.
you have to learn how to buy and renovate homes.
Yeah.
To do what he's talking about, you have to buy and renovate.
You think the market will be the same in 2022?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you have to buy and renovate homes to keep them. You can't wholesale yourself a home and then it just magically fixes itself up and the money comes to you.
Makes sense.
And here's the thing too, I own properties. My first property I bought was 1997. When you own it for long term, trust me, you have no problem paying extra 10, 20 grand, right? Or the market up and down. I got through 4 cycle already, guys. Okay? 4 cycle. I'm OG in this room. So here's my point I'm making to everyone in this room, okay? Is the market gonna be different in 22? It could go down, it could flatten out. But I'll tell you that if you're buying it as a fixer and you add value and you below 30% of the market value and you got reserve and you ain't selling for a while, you're in good shape.
Yep.
Right?
Gosh, you better hope that Biden doesn't get to your unrealized capital gains.
I don't think that shit gonna happen.
No, I mean, in the end, to be a true real estate investor, you got to buy properties and fix them up. Like, there's no wholesaling is not real estate investing.
Yeah.
You're a marketer.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Kevin Marquez. I'm actually taking over my father's hotel industry, and he's been old school knowledge, and I'm trying to take it to the new school. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and also with the whole wholesale real estate. So I'm trying to get into that as well. But right now I'm just trying to take it to the new age at the moment. So
Cool.
trying to be here, just learn as much as I can.
Earlier you were saying over here, you were saying that you're trying to get out of the day-to-day stuff in that operation so you can move to the real estate like these guys are doing.
Exactly.
So it sounded like your choke point was like being able to hire somebody, train them, and delegate.
Exactly.
Right?
Build that foundation so then that way it can run itself. So then that way I can go and get into the whole real estate game. I was looking at the bird, I was looking at you. It's a whole different environment. I want to get into that, but I want to build that foundation for my father, build that legacy, and continue on with the real estate.
That's dope.
You know?
Yeah, I always tell people if you're gonna get in real estate, get in all of it.
Yeah.
You know, wholesaling, I always say, is like the gateway drug of real estate, right? Because everybody gets sucked in wholesaling because you don't need cash or credit, so you think, right? But then when you start doing it on a big level, it turns into a real business, and then opportunities start popping up, and you can start taking some of those down as flips, and then buying rentals and doing that type of thing. But don't put yourself in that box like, I don't know if I want to be a wholesaler or a flipper or a buying. Just do it all. That's the best way.
Yeah. And watching your ING and seeing that whole different world, you brought me into that whole world. I was like, whoa, what the hell is this wholesale real estate? I didn't know. I thought I had to be a realtor and then have all this other stuff. But you dealt with one of my boys that has been into the game, and then I was like, wow, look at this guy. And then I started following your other people, and I was like, wow, I want to get into this. I want to learn more, you know? So I want to get into this. What?
Ariel?
Brandon Connie? Brandon Connie?
He's in the e-com space too.
Yeah, he's been on the whole Amazon, Walmart type thing. So I saw you through that, and then after that, I started following all your other people's. I want to learn more. So you're in the right spot. Yeah.
I started a social media marketing company when I was 21. I dropped out of school, was just in a bad spot. So I was in network marketing for 2 years, and from 19 to 21, learned all the personal development skills, got into books. I was just trying to condense time because I dropped out of school. So 19 to 21, my goal, right? When you asked the question, you kind of came back to the goal, right? You want this many properties to have X amount of money. So I was thinking, okay, I need to condense time from 19 to 21. Boom, opportunity fell in my lap to start a social media marketing company. I scaled that and just focused on that one thing for like 5 years. Now on social media, there's crypto, there's all this. I think one of you guys, there's so many different things we get distracted from. But you just got to focus on that one thing. Where can I earn my cash from? And what am I going to do with that cash? Real estate, and it's awesome to hear how similar everyone's path is with real estate. So 5 years accumulated, we did about 10 million in sales. Met these guys actually in the last couple of years, changed a lot of my revenue and income, and I've kind of pivoted into the e-com space, approaching like 40 Bitcoin that I hold. I've invested, I think I have like $6-7 million in properties, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and then a lot of duplexes in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And you're only what, like fucking 24 or something?
No, I'm 27.
27.
Yeah,
Same
27.
thing, right? 27 years old.
So, yeah, it's just been trying to condense time, like how can I make a lot of income? Where can you pivot? Where can you go, in the internet space? And e-com has been awesome with these guys.
You made billions on Instagram, right?
Yeah, of course, but you want to keep that chart going up, right? And if you just stick with one thing for too long, you got to know when to pivot as well, because social media right now it's definitely a whole different game. So yeah, e-com, Bitcoin, real estate, really getting into real estate. I've been following Thach for like a year now. Single families, we just picked up a rental in Delray, 2.2 million. So we're Airbnb-ing it actually, and that's doing awesome. And single family, I'm getting big into. I'm looking at a $3.2 million build to move in, right? To just move in, build, move into it, and just keep flipping this home equity for myself and also rental properties. So yeah.
27.
Blake, great to see all y'all. Glad to be here. I played for the Oakland A's with Ryan back in the day, so that's kind of brought me into the fold. I was in real estate back when I played. I had a rental portfolio that I sold about 2 or 3 years ago. I walked away from baseball in 2016 to pursue music. I'm a musician. I sell my music to TV and film.
What do you play?
For sync licensing.
Play an instrument or?
Yeah, guitar and sing.
Oh, nice.
It's just like
That's right.
John Mayer type stuff. But
Like Ghost Rider, right?
less chicky, But yeah, so I sell my music to TV and film, sync licensing. So that's one branch. Another branch is I sell software for Cisco Solutions, B2B, enterprise agreement software. That's kind of like the W2 fortifying business that I have. And dipping my toes into wholesaling and real estate now after selling my rental portfolio from my baseball days. Kind of getting into it as a 9-to-5er and a long-term investor is what brings me here. So had some great conversations with Thach, Ryan, all you guys about what we want to do with our money as we bring it in. Obviously you want to bring in the most money you can and funnel that into your long-term wealth generation. So I'm here to learn how to do that. And I think my next step is to hire a team to run basically my music marketing and social media, because that's kind of weighing me down, and see where it goes from there. Free up my time, condense my time, like you said.
Exactly.
And,
You have to have a team for sure.
Exactly. Just glad to be here. I'm stoked about the interview. You guys are just all trying to help each other. And as an outsider, like I'm from North Carolina, coming out here with all you West Coast guys. Yeah, the energy's awesome. So thanks to everybody.
I like the fact that you said that you want to hire a team though, so you could free up your time to go do something else, because it's super important, right? Like I always tell people, if you try to chase 5 rabbits, you're not going to catch any, right? But if you have a team of people chasing rabbits, you can catch rabbits all fucking day, right? And that's what I've done very well in all my businesses. I've been able to, hire people and assemble teams and essentially lead those teams to victory, right? And then I just do it over and over and over again. But a lot of mentees that I talk to, when they're already doing something like you're doing, they try to do the next thing without setting up a team to run this thing. And then you get in that trap where you're one guy and you're like this, right? You're trying to chase the 5 rabbits, and then what happens is everything just gets watered down, right? So just the fact that you're already aware of that you're like, hey, I need to hire a team and help them run this for me so I can go pursue other things, you're already on the right track. I'm telling that's the hardest part that people don't ever do. Entrepreneurs, we like to do things ourselves, right? It's just in us. It's like you always feel like nobody can do it like I can do it. It's my business, it's my money on the line, so you want to do it yourself. And that's what usually chokes your business. So the fact that you're willing and ready to hire people to build a team, you're already off to the right start.
That's huge. Real quick, I just wanted to touch on one thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning. Like this right here, we're in a circle of trust. Like Meet the Fockers, right? Right? Everybody Everybody knows that. We're in the circle. So anything that you say in here, obviously, would stay in here. So it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to talk numbers. It's okay to talk deficiencies, even if it hurts your ego. Like you said, ego's not your amigo, right?
Yeah.
He said that. 100%. So don't feel at any point in time like, oh man, I shouldn't say that because it might make me feel weak. We're all here to help each other, right? So that's moving forward. Let's make sure that no matter what it is, even if it's something that's kind of embarrassing, just fucking shoot it out there, man. Someone's gonna help you here. You know what I mean?
Later they're gonna see that post and be like, that's the guy with no team.
No, that's good. Hey, let me hit on something on that. If you guys just remember this, when you delegate, you elevate. Right. So, dude, but there's a difference between delegation. All right, guys, huge difference between delegation and dumping. Meaning, I hire someone because I put them in that spot, Chris. You know how you are when you first got the job. You're freaking excited. You go above and beyond, right? And you're like, damn, I don't need to watch this person no more. They're doing amazing. And you forget about them because you dumped it on them. You didn't delegate. And guess what? Before you know it, they see that you're not holding them accountable, what you were talking about. You're not watching them. And guess what? Their enthusiasm, their production goes down. And before you know it, that section that you needed help in, that actually elevated now is boom, to the ground. Because you didn't delegate it, you dumped it. So be careful that, yeah, you delegate it, but you're tracking them, you're watching them, you're rewarding them. A little pat on the back like, dude, good job, man. You're doing a better job than me. Dude, that feels better than money. I'm not kidding. Just a little praise and recognition. Sometimes, I'm not kidding, guys. There's people that left and say, dude, they treated me like crap over there. I felt like family here. Yeah. And guess what? They work harder here. So, man, that little thing, you know, I'm telling you, means all the difference.
I always tell my guys, I say, hey, how can we make the people want to do what we need them to do, right? Obviously, you know, they get paid to do it. Everybody has a job, you know, they get paid, but we want to incentivize them, we want to reward them. But a lot of times it just comes down to simply recognition, like you said, right? Yeah. Money doesn't motivate everybody. For entrepreneurs, that's hard to understand, right? Because we're money motivated, right? We want money and time off, right? That's what entrepreneurs want. Not every one of your employees is going to want that. Some people, money doesn't make them tick. Sometimes they just want praise or they want some type of recognition, right? So, you know, giving your people rewards and trophies and plaques, all that stuff's good. Paid holidays, paid vacations, whatever you could do. But at the end of the day, if you have a team, and like you said, if you're just dumping things on them, they're gonna feel it, right? But if you're really delegating and being a leader and also being in the trenches with them, right? Like back in the day when I used to run my telemarketing company, if the guys were in a slump, I'd say, you know what? I'm gonna just get on the phone with them today. And I didn't have to back then. I was already off the phone for a long time making money, but I'd grab my headset. All right, guys, I'm gonna go into war with you today. I put the headset on, they'd start clapping. Oh, fucking Chris is gonna call with us, right? And I just sit there in the trenches with them, building them up and making calls and being part of the team. So it's like you don't want to have like you don't want to be the dictator, right? You don't want to be like, I'm the boss and you're the ground workers. You don't want that. You want it to be like mutual, like you're in it with them, right? Yeah. And when you do that, they're gonna work side by side and they're gonna respect you. You know, like people ask me too, like, you know, how do you get your guys to work hard? I tell them, monkey see, monkey do, right? They know I'm fucking up hustling. They know I'm up early in the morning on my phone, handling DMs and texts and all kinds of shit, right? So it's monkey see, monkey do. Speed of the leader on everything. And Mario, you could attest to that, right? Absolutely. I mean, this guy. He texts me all the time. I'm like, dude, get some rest. I'm like, you're on like 17 Zooms today, back to back to back. But it's the speed of the leader. But that's why your people are the way they are, because they get it from you. Yeah. Right? And guys, don't miss the little things. Like, we had an incident at our house. My mother-in-law, she was over taking care of the kids. Me and my wife were leaving it for dinner, and she couldn't breathe. And my kids FaceTimed me like, hey, Grandma stopped breathing. We're like, holy crap. So we went back home, and just the little things. Before you know it, I had 2 missed calls from Chris. Marlene called my wife, like, dude, like.
We're neighbors.
We're neighbors.
We saw the paramedics at his house, so I'm like, what's going on, Mario? Are you okay?
Like little things like that mean the world to us. Like, crazy crap happened this week that my wife couldn't even be here, but I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna let down Chris and Marlene because, dude, they freaking care. I promise you, and I'm not making a dime off this. I'm here just to serve because I love these guys. You follow me? And I'm bringing value. I'm bringing everything I got. Those little things mean so much, dude. Just like someone got called, oh, you'll be over. Like, nah, dude. Like, how you doing, man? Like, hey, how's everything? You have no idea, dude. Like, oh shit, you recognize me? You know who I am? That means the world. Some of your key people, write down their anniversaries, write down birthdays, send them a damn gift card, send them some roses. My wife's so great at that. Yeah, dude, you wouldn't believe people would be like,
dude, there's no way. Like, these people care about us. We're not like family, we are family. That's how you move to war, dude. I'm telling you, the most powerful thing out there, and I'm not trying to, thank you, bro. Someone liked my speech right here. Let me tell you something, man. The most powerful thing is not anger. Like, dude, you're not gonna be willing to kill yourself for revenge or anger or anything like that, but you'll be willing to die for love, bro. So, man, if people feel loved and appreciated, and I know I keep on hitting on that, but it's everything, dude. And I want to tell you publicly how much you guys meant to us, that call meant the world to us, you know? And that's why I'm freaking here. Like, literally, I couldn't be here right now. I'm like, F no, I'm going to keep my word. So I appreciate you guys. Give these guys a hand.
I'm also from the Bay Area, and I am a realtor. I'm wholesaling, trying to keep property after the conversation I had with Thach in Seattle. I started as a realtor, making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, and then wanted more, started investing. I was introduced to wholesaling. I started doing some of that, started making more money, and then now I'm flipping houses. So I try to stay broke all the time. So as soon as as soon as I get profits from a property, I just flip it to another one. And last year, that's when I kind of ramped it up a little bit. I had like $350,000 saved up, and right now I'm like at 1.5 million. But I just don't touch the money. It just keeps. I try to stay broke, and yeah, I'm here to learn from all of you guys. I know there's levels to this, and I know that eventually Thach has been a big inspiration for me. Also, Chris, and I want to hold more property and build wealth that way. So that's what we're doing here.
Can I give you advice as a brother? And sorry. So the words you tell yourself is everything. And I would say I stay hungry. I do things to stay up. Don't use that, bro. Like, dude, I do things to stay hungry, so I reinvest my word. Because subconsciously, dude, I promise you, like saying that you're broke, dude, you'll figure out shit to get yourself broke. I'm super big on this. I promise you, when I was freaking broke myself, I thought all this stuff, like what you say to yourself and how you talk to yourself, is a bunch of crap. And guess what? I was broke. I said, man, I'm so damn broke. What do I have to lose to try it? Like this positive thinking and subconscious mind and reading and all that stuff. And bro, this shit works. So I changed the words of what I say about myself. I would just say, dude, I stay hungry. I don't let my stuff be comfortable. I stay hungry. I get more. Just change that word. Everything else, I'm freaking proud of you, bro. 301.5. Give him a freaking hand, bro.
That's absolutely true, though. Like what he says, I'm huge on like affirmations. I tell myself affirmations. I told Chris he got a weird visual of it. Every morning when I'm naked, about to hop in the shower, I look in the mirror and I talk to myself. Yep. I do it to my kids when I'm walking them to school every day. That's kind of weird. I talk to my kids and I tell them.
I catch him all the time. He does it too.
And that's good. That's a good thing. But I do it to my kids too. I tell them like, who's amazing? I'm amazing.
I'm amazing.
I'm amazing.
Exactly.
And I try to build them up so that their day starts off with that energy of like, hey, I'm here to conquer the fucking world. You know what I mean? And that's everything.
I'm sorry, but dude, hitting on that, like you're doing as a father, I'm so freaking proud of you. Because there's three main things. Look, guys, and there's mostly men in here, and some of you guys are gonna be fathers, or some of you guys are gonna be father-like people. And as a father, there's three main roles. The reason the world is so weird in some places right now is because of fatherhood, man. And look, as a father, your job is to protect, to provide, and identify. And that's what you're doing, brother. You're rolling that part as a father so darn good. I'm so proud of you. You're providing, you're protecting your kids, and you're identifying who they are. Your kids have no choice but to be champions in life, bro. And that goes to all of you guys, man. I'm so freaking proud of you. Give them a hand, dude. That's it. Dude. Yeah, bro. That is so badass.
Yeah. So,
Why not?
I'm Raphael Vargas. I'm Chris's and Ryan's business partner in the e-com company, and I'm also their business partner in the Instagram growth company. And we also have that deal out in Portugal as well, the cannabis company as well. So I'm in all those areas with them.
That's badass, bro.
Yeah, so that's basically all I do.
I want some apartments with us too.
That's right.
That's so badass.
So my name is Roman. I'm 27 years old. All I've ever known my whole life as an immigrant was just, crazy hard work. So my first unofficial job was, painting houses with Russians at 12 years old. My first real job was 14 years old, McDonald's, 525. Then by the time I was 15, I kept walking to Best Buy every single day, and literally they were like, no, we don't have nothing. I just kept coming back. Got a job at Best Buy. A year later, I stumbled into a billionaire was buying a dealership in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I live. And he's like, listen, I really freaking like you. How old are you? I'm like, I'm 15, about to be 16. He's like, come work for me as my IT manager. So now I was in charge of 10 car dealerships, all the IT work. A year later, I was like, look, I'm 16 years old. I'm making almost 80 grand a year, but there's more out of life. And I stumbled upon a paycheck of a finance guy, and I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking finance manager. And the finance manager paycheck was like, I don't know, 250, 300 grand year to date. And went into sales, crushed it, became a finance manager at 18, and literally just blinders on. By the time I was 21 years old, I was making $500,000 a year. And again, same thing. No business people in my family, nothing. Opened a trucking business, sold that, did good. And then I got to a point, I was 24 years old, almost 25. 2 years ago, I was so fucking burned out, I didn't want anything. Like, I was killing it, I was making good money, I just didn't want anything. And they kept messing with my money on top of all that, so I just left car business and jumped headfirst into real estate. Took me 8 months to get my first deal, and then after that, it was just like, so this year I'm gonna do 7 figures. That's right. It's just me, I work for myself, I don't have any bosses. Next year I plan to start, hiring a team and scaling, but I resonated a lot with Chris's story because it was kind of like, hey, I'm a really hard worker, I'm an entrepreneur, but I grind. And I used to grind like 60, 70 hours per week, but I didn't know any better. So now that, I've gotten out of there, started my own real estate thing, I'm an entrepreneur. Now I'm kind of like, all right, what can I do to capitalize? And I'm just at a start where I'm like, because 7 figures right now, let's face it, it's kind of just like starting to scratch the surface. So now I'm like, okay, now that I have that and I have the time freedom, now I can kind of step back and be like, all right, here are the people that I need to put into places to really take off. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So I actually met you at Freedom the first time, right? Yeah. At Freedom, you had just left the car business. I spotted you from a mile away. I'm like, that guy's a fucking car guy. He like, I'm a car guy. I was the finance manager as well. So I was like, man, he's got the Ferragamo, the driver's on. He's got a fucking Breitling Navitimer. He's got a fucking Mont Blanc on. I still carry mine every day. I was like, yo, this guy's a closer. And I remember you were like, okay, so I have X amount in the bank right now. How soon do you think I can get running? I was like, well, if you don't car guy the shit, like you're gonna just take off and you're gonna kill all these guys. No offense to like people that have never been in the car business, but most people that call themselves closers typically are not closers.
Facts.
And it's a title that's given to you by people that recognize that. And I knew that from meeting you just straight off the jump, like this guy's gonna fucking crush it. But tell them just real quick, because I know it's a long story about all the problems you had leading up to that first deal, because it did take you a while, and I was really surprised at that. But so go ahead, just real quick.
It took me 8 months to get my first deal, and I was getting deals like insane things. Like my first deal, 2 months in, I spoke to the seller, got the seller locked up. The deal is 50 grand. I'm like, fuck, good, 50 grand, I'm gonna make it, right? Buyer's ready to go. House is paid off. Well, the home was a Habitat for Humanity home. They have a 30-year right of refusal to sell, and we're on year 24. So the house is paid off. I'm about to make 50 grand, and they're like, you can go fuck yourself. And I'm like, that was the first deal. Second deal, the house is worth $250,000. I closed the hell out of this lady, signed her up, 85 grand. I'm about to make like 120, 130. I'm like, okay, finally, this is my big break. Come to find out, the lady signed 3 different contracts with 3 different people. She's an escrow on like 5 different like escrows, and she's some kind of meth head. She took my escrow money, $800, and disappeared. And I'm like, I was calling Tino, and I'm like, Tino's like, I've been in this business forever. I've never seen anybody get as much problems as you do.
We were talking, I was walking around the parking lot, because people walk and talk when they close. And I wasn't closing you, but we were talking, and I was saying, hey, I said, dude, this is fucking insane. Like, we've had so many mentees come and go through here and never had so many problems as you ran into. I remember you saying, like, damn, dude, I don't know, maybe you think I should go back to the car business? I said, dude, that popsicle stand's always gonna fucking be there. You know, you can go in there and just knock down 40K a month like clockwork. I said, does your wife support you? She's like, yeah. You're like, hey, she supports me. She's my rock. She's got my back. I said, well, then stick it out to the last fucking penny, and you're gonna make it happen. And bro, like, I remember the next month was like, bah, 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 bah. And he just fucking took off
I'll
from
tell
there.
you guys this too, like, I mean, I don't know how many of you here are Christian or whatnot, but I definitely believe, like, that God has a purpose for every life in here. And before you can make, not just life-changing money, but before you can make life-changing impact on people, you're gonna go through it. Like, for example, 2 months ago, I lost both of my brothers. I'm the only kid left. Like, literally, 14 days apart, I lose my older brother, 29 years old. Then I lose my 26-year-old brother to coronavirus, right? Perfectly healthy guys, no underlying conditions, nothing. Now it's just me and my parents, you know what I mean? I was thinking to myself, like, I was asking a lot of questions of, like, why is this happening, God? Like, why are you allowing this to happen? And I came to the realization that if we can understand God with our little 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds of matter, like, he wouldn't be God, right? So the bigger the battle, the bigger the obstacles, the more impact eventually your life will be meant to make, right? You can't make impact if you haven't been down in the ditches. You can't. And money, like, as entrepreneurs, as much impact as we can make with money is only so much. Like, it's only so superficial. It's only surface level. You know what I mean? You can make a couple $1 million a year fairly easy as an entrepreneur, right? But reality, like, what kind of foundation are you truly building on? And if you're not building on the right foundation, if God is not a priority in your life, eventually shit will crash and burn. I promise you.
Very well
So
said.
just.
That's mainly one of the reasons why I'm here, because, like, my intentions are right? Like, I want to build a team because the way, I'm doing good, I want others to do good as well, and at the same time, they're going to help me do good, right? So I want to build a team so I can have more time, more freedom, but that's kind of the piece that I haven't been able to put together. Like, I do better by myself than when I start working with other people for some reason.
That's because you're in Mexico every other week. Fool already told you. You guys follow George. Every other week this fool's in Mexico. I'm like, you're never going to build a team like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's where I'm messing up. But for me, the way I try to build a team was that I put out ads in Mexico. Right? Hold on. Maybe that's where I fucked up, right? But my thing was, like, if I could make an impact on someone in Mexico, making US dollars because they speak English, they can learn the skills, right? Like, I learned them. I didn't know a lot of the shit. So if I can teach them and I can change their world, like, that would mean a lot to me. Someone that is in Mexico is somebody that, they don't make money, like, like, they're struggling. But if I can change that for them, that's kind of like my purpose of me trying to build a team over there. But I've tried it numerous times and I just can't get it right.
What is it, the training portion? Is it the...
Well, yeah, they just don't produce.
I'll tell you guys this, like, I think that sometimes too is you can say one thing, like, put your intentions out there, but in reality, it's really what's deep inside of you. For example, like, I haven't started scaling my company, even though I could get out of my own way and have a multi-million-dollar company right now, because I value my time so much right now. You could literally make $10 million this year, walk out tomorrow, car will run you over and you're done, right? So, like, the great equalizer is the time. And a lot of people, they'll focus on making money, and then they'll get to the point where all they have is money, and they don't have anything else. They don't have family, they don't have anything. It's not necessarily anything wrong, with you not being able to build a team. I just think that maybe your priorities aren't aligned with what you really want to do.
Like, I've been to a couple, other seminars and everything, and then I try to do everything they tell me to do, but most of the time I find myself spending more money than what's coming in, right? Yeah. Everybody hypes you up, get a big team, hire all these things, get your list, get all blah, 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 blah. So next thing you know, you have the money, you're like, let's do this. And you think that, boom, this shit's gonna happen. And it doesn't, right? Next thing you know, 1 month, nothing, 15 grand out. 20 grand out, nothing coming in. Like, what the fuck,
Do you have an office here too or no? So there's my 2 cents, right? And for what it's worth, I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing, but I have a massive teams overseas, over 100 people. Some in Philippines, some in Bangladesh, right? Some in Mexico. And we also have a headquarters in Costa Mesa with 35 people. Before that, I had a telemarketing company with 300 people. I'm pretty good about building teams, right? I can tell you this, doing it virtual is very difficult because what's missing is the culture, right? When you have an office that so look at me, Dustin, Manny, Panda, we all used to work together, right? And the reason we're so tight is because of that bond of being in the trenches together every day, right? And me as the leader, I create the culture for the office, right? You know, I'm the one that comes in and makes the strong coffee, gets the music going, and has the power meeting, and come on guys, we're gonna fuck shit up today, and blah, blah, blah. And what happens is you start building a connection with your crew, right? So it's a little easier to get a team to perform when you have that environment, right? So it's not that you can't do it overseas, because a lot of us have teams overseas too, but it is a lot more difficult because you're not there to manage them, and especially with salespeople. So this is something I want to stress to you too, okay? So we have over 100 employees overseas. None of them are salespeople. They're all computer nerd techie people, right? Which those are jobs that we can monitor from here very easily. We can track and measure what they're doing very easily. We can, hold them accountable very easily. It's like, hey, if your job is to update this spreadsheet, at the end of the day, it's very easy for us to know if it got done or not, right? So having a team of those type of people overseas is easier to manage than salespeople. Salespeople are constantly facing rejection and all kinds of headaches, and people are hanging up on them, telling them to get a real job and all this shit, right? They need someone there to keep their morale going, to boost them up, to keep their energy going, right? So that's part of it. And then the other part too is like, if you're gonna hire salespeople, you have to fucking listen to them because you have to know if they're any good or not, right? Like, not everybody's a good salesperson, okay? So for me, I hire a lot of salespeople, and what I do is I bring them in, and within the first few days, I can tell right away, do they have it or do they not, right? If it's someone that I feel doesn't have it, I'm not really gonna waste a lot of time trying to train them. I'm not gonna try to turn a non-salesperson into a salesperson. I'm gonna find a guy like Tino or a guy like Roman or a guy like my guys that already have game, and I'm gonna make them a beast, right? Because salespeople all kind of have that, like, you can just tell they're talkers like me. Like, I'm just freestyling right now. I'm a sales guy, right? When you find someone like that, if you put some, it's funny, but it's true, right? If you train them and manage them and critique them, you can make them really, really, really good, right? But if you're trying to hire, like, for you, acquisition people for your real estate company, and you're trying to hire them overseas, you have a number of problems against you, right? One, there's a language barrier to a certain degree. Two, you're not there. Three, there's no culture, there's no environment that you're leading, right? And the most important one is no one's training them, right? Like, they're not just gonna read a script and get deals. The shit's harder than that, right? Like, if it was me and I was you, if you wanna help the people in Mexico, which I totally respect, it's super cool, right? What I would do is I would have them for lead gen only. Give them the easy shit to do. Just read the script, find out if they wanna offer or not. If they do, it needs to come over here to someone who's American, that knows who the president is and knows who's in the Super Bowl and can have a high-level conversation and get them to laugh and talk shop, right? That's what you need. I just don't see it happening like that, right?
Like everything over there.
Yeah, and even if it did, I mean, like, at what level is it going to happen, right? Like, you need to have a team of killers, right? You need to have an environment here in a nice, big, beautiful office with fancy desks and, good coffee and the radio playing and that type of thing, where people come to work and they get pumped up to be there. We talk about this type of shit all the time. Like, we used to have a saying, okay? I had 300 telemarketers working for me, right? And we used to have a saying. We say, hey, if you want to get rid of a guy, we don't have to fire him. We just make him work from home. That was the saying, because every time we make a guy work from home, it's only a matter of time before their morale starts getting down. There's no one there to pick them up. They start missing camaraderie with other salespeople, and they just burn out every time, right? That's really good. It's true, right? I mean, by the way, Mario's got like the baddest fucking office I've ever seen. He's got a basketball court in his office. He's got a stage in his office. Hey, listen to me. Listen, I can't make this up, okay? He has a stage in his office that throws flames, and it has seating for 500 people in his fucking office. Yeah. But look, hey, but Mario, but here's the thing though. Yeah. So hear it from him. Why did Mario spend millions of dollars on that big, beautiful office? Because of what I'm telling you guys right now. 100%. The culture, right? Because he can bring people. People will never leave that office. Yeah. People brag. Oh, look where I work. Look what look at my boss. Da da da. But you have to build that.
So I tell people, before I bought the dream house or even the dream car, I bought the dream office. My actions speak louder than our words, right? So I was showing my team, like, dude, you are the most important. Like, I want you to have an environment that you can feel proud of. You follow me? And look, it's crazy how we are as human beings. Like, as human beings, you know how we are. All of us, like, we expect everybody to judge us by our intentions, yes or no? Right. But we judge everyone by their actions. It's crazy. We're freaking hypocrites. Let's be real here. Even if your intention was not like, no, but you did this, like full. But if your intentions were good, you would, right? And I talk about this all the time because, guys, if you put yourself in their shoes, game over. Like, how many of you guys have kids here? Raise your hand if you have any kids or people you manage. Well, guess what? Ask yourself before you ring them and you want to kick their ass. You know what you need to do? You need to ask yourself, could I have done the same mistake? And the answer most of the time is what? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I did the same mistake, how would I want to be coached? How would I want to learn from this? And then guess what? You change your approach. What happens is, as humans, we freaking react, even with our spouse. Dude, it's crazy. Like with our partners, we're the freaking worst. We have the least patient, and they're the ones that have our back the most. Yes or no?
Yes.
Guys, we need to change that crap. We need to change that crap. You gotta like think about it. Like, dude, could I have done the same mistake? And if that happened, how would I want to learn from this? So guys, look, I was looking for this because it's good. So look at this. If you want to go fast, go alone. Like some of you guys are saying this, right? But if you want to go far, go together. This is an African proverb. So think about this. Yes, it's going to take more time to build a team. But bro, that's where you have freedom.
I just haven't been able to put it together, but that's why we're here.
That's right. That's what you have here. And I'm proud of you, bro, for being open and honest here.
Yeah.
Yes, but that was so good, bro. But you said, Chris.
It's been like a lot of things, right? Then it's like, okay, I need to hold more property. All right, boom. Good deal, 8 units. I'm there. I buy them, I put the money. And the next thing you know, non-paying tenants. Fuck. You know, it's always like that little, every time you try to jump into a new thing to grow, you start hitting those obstacles. Boom, non-paying tenant. You know, this shit fucked up. Now you have to spend money to fix this and he's still not paying. Or he'll pay that month and then the next month he doesn't pay. So like, I'm just learning as I go, right? But I'm trying to explore everything.
I'll tell you what you need. You need 2 things. More passive income and more streams of income. And that's what the whole purpose of this event is, right? Because you're living and dying by your real estate revenue. We've had this talk before. You can go flip fucking 200 houses and guess what? As soon as you get the money from one, it's time to fund the next one. It's like a never-ending receivable line. Look at that, just like that. Yeah. So you're skimming money off the top, right? And so I'm telling you, like, you need more passive income, more rental properties or anything else that's passive that brings in income all the time, right? And then you need more streams of income. And I always tell people, like, the streams of income, you have to, if you want your business to be bulletproof, right, you have to have multiple streams of income that have nothing to do with each other. Because if you wholesale, flip, and have rentals and whatever, that's still all real estate, right? You need to have some other shit going on too. It's not hard, right? You could Google right now, hey, what's a fucking easy side hustle? It'll probably have 10 things pop up, right? And that's when you're gonna get bulletproof because you're not gonna live and die by any one thing. It's real.
Partners with Chris on the real estate stuff, do the e-com with Manny, Chris, and Panda. I've been very good at creating money here to invest in. We got apartments, angel investing overseas. So I'm at a point in my life where I still got hustle in me, so I'll make money here to invest in things I really may not understand, but I'm partnered with the right people. So yeah, I'm just
Take chances, right?
yeah,
Take chances.
open-minded.
You want to tell them like just a timeline of what you were doing before, prior to everything that you're doing now?
Too much for tomorrow.
Just a short, because it's really inspiring, like for a lot of
It's
people.
only been a year. I mean, from literally broke to making 7 figures or more. Literally. I mean, I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff.
Round of applause. Like, that's We'll save it for tomorrow, right?
Say that again?
We'll save it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta speak into his good ear.
Let's inspire tomorrow.
Woo!
Inspire the uninspired.
Let's get it. Ryan?
I'll probably fuck up tomorrow because I've never spoke before, but I'm gonna do it. No, I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
I never spoke either, so.
This is the circle.
I never spoke either, so.
No, but I have advice from other speakers.
That's right.
They don't know what they don't know. They don't know I'm fucking up. No, just kidding. Yeah.
When you walk on stage with that Richard Mill, everybody's
Yeah.
gonna listen.
No, I'm just proof that hard work pays off. I've been working hard for shit since 2013.
Fuck since I've been here.
Yeah.
And having a good heart, bro. You have an amazing freaking heart.
Yeah.
He has the biggest heart. He doesn't tell you that he like donates to the church every single week. He doesn't tell you what he does for his community. There's so much to Ryan that he's just not elaborating on because I don't know, he's
just
shy or
selling me
something.
$5,000 right now.
He's a
Damn.
CEOer, he's an entrepreneur. He does so many great things, so he's just being super shy or something. Probably one of the most giving people you'll ever meet in your life.
Yeah, he is.
I do acquisitions and operations for Dustin and Chris's real estate company.
How long you been in sales for, Stu?
14 years.
What were you doing before that?
Drug addict on the street, in and out of prison.
I know it's kind of funny, right? Like people laugh a little bit about it, but this is kind of personal about my family. My brother was addicted to drugs while I was in Iraq. He fell to that lifestyle, was pawning my Louis Vuitton shit, was pawning my mom's earrings and shit like that, and he, switched his life up like that. And it's just a testament, man. You have a fucking badass watch on. You would have never been able to do that in your past life. So it's just another chapter.
I would have been trying to steal that watch.
Exactly. So it's incredible to meet entrepreneurs that have like completely changed their course of trajectory and within a year or a few years and just better themselves. My brother, like I was saying, he fell victim to addiction for a while, and I was able to help him out, get him out of that, and bring him into sales. And the guys, you guys are gonna meet him. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's a killer. He's a killer. Thank you.
We've been wholesaling for a year, 9 months. So we're like our infancy of like our business and building it up and trying to scale.
You guys are young too, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a team currently, or are you guys?
We're both acquisition and dispositions, but for marketing we have 3 virtual assistants, but we're looking to systemize more so we can scale. So we're trying to do that before 2022, because our main goal for 2022 is get $1 million in assignment fees for 2022.
Awesome.
Do you do deals in Cali market?
No, just Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. I just said Atlanta. My bad.
No.
Atlanta. Okay.
So you have no acquisition. So you guys are both sharing both roles, the acquisition and dispo.
Yeah.
You guys haven't never thought about splitting it up. No.
of that?
Who's stronger at what position?
So I'm the integrator in our business and he's the visionary, but in terms of like closing, it's really like equal in
Just
closing.
say it. I know you want to say it.
Hey, yeah, you're closer. Yeah, yeah, go on.
We can tell.
I can already tell.
We can all spot this out, right? Like this is just a prime example of being open and vulnerable. You can spot who the sales guy is and who's the guy who's gonna get shit done. Not saying you won't, but you're a sales guy, right? You're gonna fuck off sometimes. So if you just focus on one thing and you focus on the second part and then casually help each other out, I noticed that works a lot with all the mentees I've seen. That's been like the key factor for being able to grow. And then you're going to be the guy that's going to interview people alongside with him, but you're going to be the guy who's going to be like, all right, this is a guy that I can train to be an acquisition.
How many deals are you guys doing in Atlanta?
On a monthly basis?
Annual.
Annual, so for up to like today, we've done about 30 deals for this year, and this year. So this is our first official year, actually, kind of full year running, knowing what we're doing.
Goes around 450, 500, and that's for our first year.
Have you averaged out what your average deal size is?
About 30,000.
Yeah,
Per deal?
yeah.
What's holding you back from getting to where you're trying to go?
Yeah.
In regards to marketing or like lead gen, or what specific?
Well, we do a lot of good lead gen, but like a lot of properties do fall through the cracks. So we lose a lot of revenue.
So at the moment, we're really focusing on selling properties to funds. So the reason why some things have been falling through is because we kind of wait on them to let us know, yes, we're going to buy it, or no, we're not going to buy it. Because there's been multiple times where we have good spreads on a property. They want to go see it, and they're like, well, we can't buy it because foundation issue, something like that. So what's really been messing us up is the systemization part, and that's really the only thing we need to connect so we can start scaling even more.
So right now, all the marketing you guys are doing is all SMS and cold call?
Yeah.
This is one of those things where there's like many ways to skin a cat, right?
Yeah.
So, some guys will tell you mail's the best thing, and other people will tell you cold calling's the best thing. I'll tell you I like PPC the best, right? But at the end of the day, what you really need is multiple channels, right? And they have to be consistent all year long. So I do a presentation on this too. I wish I had it so I could show you. It's like a graph and it shows lines, right? But most people have like 1 or 2 marketing channels, SMS and cold call, right? And they do them usually inconsistently. But even if you're doing them consistent, it takes more than that, right? I like mail, PPC, calling, and texting. That's my main 4 that I like. I don't really fuck with RVM that much. It works, but it's not my thing, right? But I could tell you, if you ask me right now, like, hey Chris, like what do you spend on marketing? I can tell you right now, $1,000 a day on PPC. Because that's my bread and butter. So I spend $1,000 a day on Google. It's 30 grand a month, right? That alone brings in enough leads to keep everything going. The mail I do for niche stuff. So earlier when Thach was speaking and saying about keep properties, right? Well, my Google marketing goes nationwide, so all those properties come in, most of them get flipped or wholesaled, right? That just keeps revenue coming in, it keeps the bills paid, it keeps the employees paid, it keeps the office paid, right? My mail campaign is very niche specific to my hood in my area where I'm trying to keep deals. So I get a lot less deals from mail, but when I get them, it's usually something that I'm gonna keep or I'm gonna flip and make all the money, right? And then with text blasting, I kind of play with it. One day, or 1 week I might be texting all in my area, then we might do another state or we might go nationwide or whatever. That's what works for me, and we do a lot of it. Right now I'm doing $2,000 a week on mail. So that's about 4,000 or 5,000 postcards a week. 1,000 a day on Google. I have one VA that does nothing but just text all day, every day. Cold calling, I don't even do any cold calling anymore, but when I did, I had 15 callers. To have 3 VAs doing all of it is getting you guys results, but you're never gonna get to that like multi-million-dollar level until you funnel some more marketing in there. So if what you're doing is working good right now, first thing I would do is double it up. Like 3 people is not a lot. So if you're already turning over these $30,000 deals, obviously you guys have enough money to fly out here and come see me for the weekend, right? Double up on what you're doing right now. Take that to 6 VAs, maybe 10. To go from 3 to 6 is not hard. To go from 6 to 12 gets a little harder. Go to 12 to 24 gets real hard. Anything above that, you're gonna struggle, right? I would at least get it to, 6 to 10 callers. You're already good at it. You probably already have a shitload of data, right? And just get that honed in to where that's just humming, right? And once it's going good, the next thing you want to do is start implementing more channels. If you want to do mail, my advice is do a lot of it in a little area. Like don't send 10,000 pieces across the country, right? Pick 1 or 2 good neighborhoods where you know that every deal you get's gonna fly off the shelf and nail it, right? And then last but not least, like I told you, Google's my favorite. 1,000 a day on PPC is what we spend. That's what works for me. Like I said in the beginning of this too, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? You gotta do what works for you, but what I would do right away is double up on what you're doing because it's already working. Most people come to me and they're like trying to get their first deal, right? Or they're not even doing deals consistently. But if you guys are gonna do 30 deals this year, what you're doing is working, you just gotta do more of it. And then add in more marketing channels, and at some point, you'll be forced to have more than just you 2 guys. Because you're gonna have we call it wearing multiple hats. Like today I'm the acquisition guy, tomorrow I'm dispo, then I'm doing transactions, right? You need to have multiple people in your organization because then like what Tino was saying, it'd be like, okay, you're doing acquisitions, you're doing transactions, this guy's doing dispo, whatever, however it wants to look, right? Like right now, okay, you guys are getting 6 leads a day. If you started getting 30 a day, wouldn't it be as good as you think because you probably couldn't keep up with it. So you'd have to have those people there, but that's what I would do. I don't want to go on and on about it, but yeah, I would definitely double up, add in some more marketing, and then when you can, start bringing in more bodies. Do you guys have an office?
Yeah, we have.
Well, that's good, yeah. So if you have an office, you got to fill that fucker up. You got to grow.
Matt?
One of the things, when I really coach people, what I really, really want them to think about, I want them to write a 10-year letter working backwards. Man, that's really where you should start. If you really think about 10-year, like my mentor been having me write a letter, 10-year letter for since 1995. So I have a 10-year letter, right now, I'm working on right now the 2028. I've been working on that since 2017, right? And it's in there, and it talks about how much passive income I'm gonna have, how many doors I'm gonna need, and I work towards that future. So you gotta be surprised, you don't even need that many houses, you don't need that many leads, you don't need that much passive income, you really just think 10 years out, you know what I mean, and backward. You should write, 10 years from now, what does your personal life look like? What does your business life look like? And then you have a better picture. So for me now, right, when I was coming up, when I got clear on that, my goal was to hit my $25,000 a month in passive income by the time I was 45. So I was focused on getting that number of houses and then getting them paid off. That was my only focus. Everything I did, it just funneled to that end. And then I had standard. It has to hit a certain parameter for me to keep it. If it don't hit a parameter, then I'm selling it, wholesaling it. So I'm still be out there finding deals, but I got standard. Of course, you try to keep everything when you're younger, right? But when you start having standard, if it meet this standard, I'm keeping it. If it don't meet that standard, I'm flipping it. If it don't meet that standard, I'm wholesaling it. But for me, I'm a realtor too. I'm gonna have a team. If it don't meet the standard wholesale, then I'm gonna have my team just listed for the owner. And so all the deals that come through, it always get filtered, and I'm making money on all 4 levels. So you don't ever have to worry about, how much reserve, because not every deal is a keeper anyways.
Right.
But at the same time, as I was working toward owning more rental, the biggest thing I learned coming out of the 2008 market is reserves. Because young people don't think about reserve, they think about leverage. How do I get more doors? How do I get more property? How do I get more passive income? But then they forget about the rainy days. So when I went through 2008, I had a 200.
I was just gonna, real quick, before 2008 hit, where were you at that time?
Yes. Before 2008 hit, I was already probably at maybe $70,000 a month in passive income, right? And I was building, in that time, in 2006, I built my biggest apartment building, which is 251 unit apartment building in downtown Seattle. And I had a whole bunch of single family, I had a whole bunch of townhouses I was building, and I had a whole bunch of land, which is another thing everybody thinks land is great. Land's only great if you got a lot of money sitting around. I had 2 big pieces of land that I was working on getting a 90 unit apartment building and an 85 unit apartment, and it was costing me 500 grand to get permits on these things. At the same time, my 250 unit being built at the same time. All this was going, I had so much money going out, right? And so all of a sudden, I got a hole in this cup, I gotta try to patch it with money. That hole got fixed, and all of a sudden this hole, what you call it. And then all of a sudden, I had probably 50 property units, houses from a single family. It wasn't vacant, because people were moving out. I was having probably close to 100 grand a month in vacancy, all across. Think about that.
You're having to subsidize it, right?
Yeah, I had to subsidize it, bro.
You had mortgages, right?
I had mortgage on those. I had to fucking like pull the bootstrap up and get busy and get working. But the biggest thing I learned is because when we're young, we just flexing. All we want is to tell people on stage or in life how much money we have or how many doors we own. When people tell me I own 1,000 doors, I'm thinking, okay, great. First of all, what percentage do you own? 10%. Well, you don't own fucking 1,000 units. Let them know. All right. Then I ask them, how much do you owe on it? Well, I owe like, you know, I got a mortgage on 90% of it. You only owe 10%. But out of 10%, you only owe 10% of 10%. Right. But the fucked up thing, you guaranteed a $100 million loan and you only get 10%. What are you bragging about?
Damn, that's crazy.
Right? But you know, when people talk to me, I just fucking just let them have it. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because people get twisted about shit like that. Like, my shit, I own it by myself. Until you own it free and clear, still liability. The shit go vacant. You gotta pay up. And so I didn't have reserve, and that's when my priority changed. And so my goal, my mentor said to me, you gotta get to the point where you always got at least $1 million basic you can access anytime. And so today, my reserve is always at $1 million at all time. I can pull it from, you know what I mean, equity line of credit, or I can pull from my cash in the bank, and I just never mess with them. Because you just never know. When you own a lot of property, you gotta have reserve. But nobody talk about that shit because you know why? It ain't sexy. What's sexy is I own 2,000 doors. That's what's sexy. But you got a mortgage on it up to the chin. So I would say for the young people, you gotta get clear on when do you want to have the option to start working? How old are you now?
28.
Do you have kids?
No.
Yeah, are you married?
In December.
Good, see? When you get to my age, 50, you just don't have the same motivation as you would when you're 20 to 30 to 40. I promise you. I'm a rare breed to be at 51 and still dancing on TikTok. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody want to do that shit. You know what I mean? Very rare. Right? Don't nobody want to dance on that shit. All my friends always fuck with me like that. Right? What I do just for the fucking fun of it. You know what I mean? Right? But I would say to you though, it takes a big why, like I was telling Mario, it takes a big why to go beyond age. Yeah. You gotta have something so far beyond you to be up in the morning motivated, like you were when you're 28, trying to hit that $2 million, $3 million income. Yeah. For me, it ain't even the income no more. You know what I mean? It's about how many. My vision is to impact 1 billion lives before I die. Directly, indirectly. So when I wake up in the morning, it's like, what am I going to do to impact this world? You know what I mean? Big time.
When did that switch for you?
That's a good question. Well, my dad, I'll tell you guys the story now, but you got to hear it. I get a phone call from my dad. My dad said, can you come to the house? But come by yourself, don't bring Cammy. Cammy's my wife. I'm like, okay. And I get to the house. My dad and mom live in a split level. I walk up, and my mom and dad sitting on the sofa, and they have that sad face. Then I walked in and I'm like, what's going on with you guys, right? And then my dad says, here, come read this. So he gave me this piece of paper and I looked and I read it and it says, positive liver cancer. I have $5 million already. And I said, Dad, don't worry, I got it. We're gonna save you, we're gonna do what it takes. We got connection to private jets. We got everything. We got this, Dad. We're gonna take care of you.
When was this, Thach?
2007. 2007. This is when my whole life changed from me versus we, right? From selfish versus selflessness, you know what I mean? And then my dad says, okay. So we started the journey on getting chemo. I used to take my dad to go chemo, but I tell you, when you go take your dad to go get chemo, and they take him there, and they putting IV in the vein, because you lose weight, you don't have no more veins. You got to put them through through your hands. And when you sit there, man, you're like, And I remember one time he started bleeding in his stomach, and they had to take him in the ER. They had to put a tube down his throat, and it was choking on it, man. I'm in the ER, I'm like, man, right? And he went from 150 pounds to like 105 pounds, and we always just had to just roll him into the ER, roll him into the cancer treatment, and then every time. And the thing about chemo is not covered on most people's insurance. And this is why I tell you guys, it's great to make your own money, but you also have to stash your money because you don't know when your family will need you. So the chemo bag, $10,000 bag. So I'm like, whatever it costs, I wouldn't empty out my bank account. We went every month, just topping off 10,000 chemo bag, 10,000. I don't care. I'm gonna dump this money out. We're gonna do it. And man, after like 7 months, man, my dad was losing it. We're in his house, and hospice said we're gonna have to come over to your dad's house because he got too much water in his lungs. And we knew that evening he's probably gonna go. So all my brothers and sisters are at the house, my uncle was at the house, and he was in the bedroom, and he didn't want to leave. He was laying there, and I was sitting there talking to my dad, and I was like, I know you don't want to go, but if you gotta go, I got you. I know you probably will. Who's gonna take care of mom? I know you, my brother and sister. I got you. You don't have to worry about it. Then my dad said to me, just take care of him. And then he died in my hands. So that's when I realized we can make all the money we can, but beyond the money, beyond us, there's something way bigger than us. And that's where true fulfillment lives. It's in that level of significance, I was telling you guys. Right?
Real quick.
And so that's when my life changed from, it's all about me. That's why I had a 10-year letter written out. Where do I want to be at? How do I want to impact the world? Right? How do I want to take care of my kids? What do I want to teach my kids? You know what I mean? How I impact the community? How I impact the world? You know what I mean? How many people I might make it that different to? And part of the whole business in there. And so when you're doing your guys' job, you gotta really have a 10-year vision out and include beyond business, beyond money, beyond passive income. You gotta add your kids, your family, you know what I mean? Everything in there. And that's how you know. So when you're now looking at a deal, it's beyond the deal.
Yeah.
Then you know how much, should I buy this, not buy the deal? Then you make right choices. Because we don't have the 10-year, 20-year vision out. You make choices all in the now versus does it line up to my future? And is it getting me closer to my 10-year letter, or is it actually moving me farther away from my 10-year letter? And that's the thing most people don't ever take the time to do because they're just too busy running on the treadmill. And so that's when really...
You're doing a great job. You're inspiring
Absolutely.
everyone here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, that's when it changed for me. And from that point on, my dad, he was a social worker. And it's crazy, he came over to help people get into housing and welfare, and I got into real estate. And now I'm helping people with housing and educating people. And so, to me now, that's why I said my vision is to inspire and empower being people. And, it starts with my kids, you know what I mean? And then it started with my wife, and it started with my family, then it started with my inner circle, then it started with you guys, and it started with people out in the world. And I know I won't be able to touch $1 billion life when I die, but that's why I love collaborating with people like you and people like Ryan, people like all these other people, because together that's how we can touch $1 billion life, you know what I mean? That's right. And that's how together, I think when people come together and they all become big lighthouses, and then we all on the beach shining a light out there to the ocean, folks. Any boat that's out there having a hard time, they need to see the light. When we have 1 million people on the beach with light shining bright, we can save more ships come with the shore. But when everybody's playing small and they're keeping the light dim, they're not helping nobody out there. That's why I think this weekend we have an opportunity for all of us, man, to shine bright. Because there's so many people out there right now that need help in personal and finances. And if you got it, man, we gotta shine a light bright to you guys. This is how we're gonna uplift the planet. And it starts with all of us, because we're entrepreneurs. We're all doing great things. And you know, like George was saying, there's people in Mexico and everything. There's people in Vietnam. But look, do the best all of us can do, because when we do the best, our light shine bright. I love what Mandela said, man. You ain't serving the world when you play small. That's right. You know what I mean? So.